For a nation riding high in the roaring 20s, deeply convinced that prosperity was a permanent fixture of its destiny, the collapse of 1929 was not just a crisis. It was a profound betrayal. One moment, wealth seemed boundless. The next, it simply vanished, leaving millions not just poor but profoundly disoriented. This wasn't merely an economic downturn. It was the moment America discovered that its greatest threat could come not from abroad, but from within its own unchecked ambition, shattering an illusion and forging a new, more resilient, and forever changed identity. We will explore why this collapse was so total, how it reached into every facet of American life, and the profound, often unexpected, legacy it left behind. Imagine the 1920s, a decade of almost unbelievable exuberance. Electricity was powering homes, automobiles were rolling off assembly lines, radios brought the world into living rooms. The economy, it hummed. Production soared, unemployment was low, and the stock market seemed to climb without end. Everyone, it seemed, was getting rich, or at least everyone knew someone who was. This wasn't just economic growth, it was a psychological phenomenon. America believed itself invincible, its destiny a perpetual ascent. But beneath this glittering surface, a different story was brewing. A massive, gaping chasm of wealth inequality was forming. The top 1% of the population held over a third of the nation's wealth. Meanwhile, many farmers who had expanded during World War I to feed Europe now faced plummeting prices and mounting debts. And in the cities, prosperity was often fueled by easy credit, buying goods, even stocks on margin, a house of cards built on borrowed money. Banks operating without much federal oversight were themselves often involved in risky loans and speculative investments. The system was simply growing, largely unchecked. Then came October 24, 1929. Black Thursday, the first tremor. By October 29th, Black Tuesday, the market had shed billions of dollars in value. It was a dizzying, terrifying cascade. Ordinary Americans who had poured their life savings into stocks watched as everything vanished. Not just their speculative gains, but their principal, their future, their hope. This wasn't the cause of the Great Depression, not entirely. It was a brutally efficient lightning rod, exposing every single flaw in the system. When the market crashed, confidence evaporated. Banks already overextended found their investments worthless. People in a panic rushed to withdraw their deposits. Banks couldn't pay. Around 9,000 of them simply closed their doors between 1929 and 1933, taking with them the life savings of millions. No federal safety net existed. Businesses, unable to secure loans or sell their goods, laid off workers by the tens of thousands. Factories went silent. The economic engine seized up, and it wasn't just America. Fragile international loans and trade structures, still reeling from the aftermath of World War I and global tariff wars, quickly transmitted America's economic shock into a global depression. The human cost was immeasurable. Overnight, a nation accustomed to progress found itself in reverse. By 1933, unemployment had soared to an astonishing 25% nationally. 1 in 4 people actively looking for work couldn't find it. Imagine that. Your neighbor, your brother, your father, suddenly without prospects, without income. Dignity became a luxury. Men who once held steady jobs now sold apples on street corners or stood in endless bread lines, accepting charity for the first time in their lives. Families were evicted. They built makeshift shantytowns, sarcastically dubbed Hoovervilles, on the outskirts of cities, a bitter monument to a failing promise. Children went hungry. Desperation became a constant companion. The psychological toll, the sense of failure, the erosion of self-worth, these wounds ran far deeper than any economic statistic could measure. And as if the economy wasn't enough, nature joined the assault. Across the Great Plains, from Oklahoma to Kansas, Texas to Colorado, years of unsustainable farming practices, coupled with a devastating drought, turned vast expanses of fertile land into a parched, loose powder. The winds came, and they picked up the land, transforming day into an apocalyptic twilight of swirling dust, burying homes, suffocating livestock, and choking crops. The Dust Bowl arrived, compounding the economic misery with an ecological catastrophe. Hundreds of thousands of families, known as Okies regardless of their true origin, packed what little they had into jalopies and headed west, chasing rumors of work, often finding only more hardship. It was a migration of despair, forever etched into the American story. In the face of this unprecedented crisis, President Herbert Hoover held fast to a philosophy of rugged individualism. He believed in local self-reliance, limited government intervention. He feared that federal handouts would cripple American initiative. He did, eventually, establish the Reconstruction Finance Corporation in 1932 to lend money to struggling businesses and banks. A step, yes, but far too little, far too late. His efforts were seen as timid, his optimism as tone-deaf. The public grew furious, disillusioned. They wanted action. They wanted someone to do something. Then came Franklin Delano Roosevelt. With a promise of a New Deal, a new contract with the American people, he swept into office in 1933. His approach was a radical departure. He understood that the government had to act, not just for the economy, but for the morale of a broken nation. Through his fireside chats, he spoke directly to Americans, restoring a glimmer of hope, telling them, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." His administration launched a dizzying array of programs, often summarized as the 3Rs: relief, recovery, and reform. For relief, programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps put young men to work on public lands, planting trees and building parks. For recovery, the Public Works Administration built infrastructure, putting people back to work and stimulating the economy. But perhaps the most enduring legacy came from reform. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, insured bank deposits, so no one would ever again lose their life savings to a bank failure. And in 1935, the Social Security Act was passed, creating a national system of unemployment insurance and old-age pensions. This wasn't just a band-aid. The New Deal fundamentally rewrote the social contract in America. Before 1929, the federal government's role in the lives of ordinary citizens was minimal. After the New Deal, it was an ever-present force, a guarantor of a basic social safety net, and a regulator of the economy. It permanently altered the relationship between American citizens and their government, forging a new identity for the nation itself. No longer could America operate under the illusion of pure, unchecked individualism. The collective good, the responsibility to protect its most vulnerable, had become an undeniable part of its fabric. The Great Depression never truly ended until the massive mobilization for World War II, but its lessons were profound and enduring. It ingrained a collective memory of vulnerability, a caution against unchecked speculation, and an expectation that the government had a role, a responsibility, in cushioning its citizens from the harsh realities of economic collapse. So the illusion shattered, the betrayal laid bare. But in its wake, America didn't simply recover. It redefined itself. It built resilience. It understood profoundly that its greatest strength and its greatest vulnerability lay within. What are your thoughts on how these historical shifts still echo in today's economic discussions? Or perhaps you'd like to explore other transformative moments in American history? Let us know in the comments, and consider subscribing for more in-depth explorations into the stories that shaped us.